What is up, guys? Wraith here, Grey Bearded Gaming Society, and we are busy getting jumped by an air elemental yet again. We were just jumping on. We were running around and basically running out the last of our buffs. We actually just lost. We had regen rolling for a little bit there, and we had a damage shield going. We put a decent chunk into the level already, so we're about 20% into level. Like I said, we were just kind of running around trying to figure out what to do. I've got kind of a couple of different ideas, but some of them unfortunately are probably better for the character, not so much like for channel content, because you know it's about the time where we could potentially get into a little bit of trouble out in Oasis. Now, the trade-off with that, of course, is we end up there a lot because there is generally quite a bit of action out there still. A lot of people still end up going out there, and there's a lot of mobs, which generally make soloing as long as you get in a decent spot. Haha! Take that! That's like the second or third time that little guy has jumped me, but this time we were ready for him. Unfortunately, now we're pretty low on health, so we need to be careful about our targets. And like always, we were checking out, hoping for the bears, just to see if we could make some cash. But that's a very popular target. See a lot of people working on that tailoring thing, trying to get some dough. But anyway, yeah, like I said, we were contemplating doing that. Like I said, we've been running around, kind of in this range, just kind of killing the. Some of it's green now, some of it's blue. We do have to also be careful because I know that the griffin was up a little while ago. Somebody had spotted it flying about, and the last thing we want to do is mess with that guy right now. But yeah, like I said, part of it right now, it's just kind of figuring out kind of which direction we want to go. I think the big thing, right, is to press at 15. I think it's 15. We get double attack, which should up our damage output even more. And then, of course, 17 is the almighty feign death, at which point we just get to go be stupid. We'll have to practice it, obviously, quite a bit to make sure we can, successfully play dead on occasion. But I think that'll be a pretty big deal for us once we're pretty good at playing dead, because then we can pretty much do some monkey shenanigans. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and finish this guy off. Mend. Yay! Mend actually worked. It didn't kill us this time. Still no additional skill up, but that's fine. Come on. These will-o-wisps make so much noise. Burn out light's done. See if we get ourselves some free plat right here. Come on. And nope. That's alright. There's a bigger bear over here, and we're going to get brave. We still have so we'll try that. But yeah, like I said, I think what we're going to do is we're going to... wow, young Cody actually greened out now. I didn't see that coming. We'll still get experience from him, but yeah, I didn't see that coming. But yeah, we're going to finish up this. We're going to run back to the tunnel. We'll get ourselves put all back together. After these missions finishes, we're going to chase that little bear over there, assuming nobody else does either, just to see if we can't get some cash. And we'll check back in here in a few minutes and maybe have a plan to hit the ground running and see what we're going to do. And so we might head toward Oasis. Or I mean, maybe we just stay out here. I mean, it's nah, neither one of those are what's going to sell. Maybe we just stay out here and just pick stuff off. We'll see. Maybe we throw up looking for groups, see if anybody bites. We'll see what happens. Stick around for me, guys. After we freshen ourselves back up a little bit, we'll check back in. Oop, and there's 20 plat right there. I'll take it. We will check back in here in a little bit at full health and see what we're doing. Stick around. Okie dokie, gang. So we waited it out, getting our hit points back. We waited out the rabies, so that's finally gone away. And so we sold our little bear pelt, got some plat. We've actually been hanging out for a little while, trying to see if we could scoop up a jagged band. I got to thinking about was was there any spots that we could kind of use some early work on? We're missing a finger item here. We're missing an ear item, and Jagged Band just comes to mind as such a good potential kind of low end mix. It's got a decent chunk of AC and some strength, so we'll hit a little bit harder. I mean, granted, it probably won't notice just the 3-hole whopping strength, but it does have strength and AC, which will be really good for our kind of soloing missions. And it's really cheap right now. Looking at like the your auction tracker. It's it's down to like 30 plat, 35 plat or so. So we're trying to see if we can pick one up on the cheap, but I'm not going to spend too much time doing it. Again, at this point, it's kind of an older item, right? Just because we're 2 expansions past that now. I remember when these things were selling for probably close to 100 plat when the server was still kind of fresh. But we might give it a couple more tries just to see. But I think past that, then we are going to, I think we're going to go ahead. We'll try to get some buffs first, obviously, but, if we don't get any bites, we're going to jump over to town real quick just to store what little bit of cash we have, make sure we're not carrying any gold around just for the weight, and then, I think we're going to make our way over to the Oasis, and we're going to try our hands at a couple of crocs. So, we shall see what happens. Like I said, I'm going to probably just a few more minutes of trying this. We'll throw out the auctioneer. Want to buy the Jagged Band, see if anybody hollers back this time. We've also been kind of just hammering mend just to try to see. We've managed to get like 1 skill up, which is, we're not doing horrible in mend. We're into the 70s now. So, it generally works more than it blows up. But we've still got to get, it's right about 100 is what everybody told me is where it becomes really safe. So it's, kind of what we're aiming for. And a few more levels, we'll be mending and playing dead constantly just for the skill ups, but one thing at a time. So give me just a minute or so here. We're going to, like I said, try to see if we get any bites on the Jagged Band, just because I still think it'll be a pretty good spot, pretty good upgrade for what we got. And I'm going to run around, drop some stuff off, load up on, make sure we got plenty of food and shurikens and all that kind of happy jazz. Probably go ahead and drop the key off in the bank. It doesn't weigh anything either, but there's no point in carrying it around with us right now. And then we will head over to the Oasis and see what we can do battling a little bit of luggage. All right, gang, we have arrived. So let's we did get a little skin like diamond. We got a Spirit of the Wolf to make the run over here a little bit easier. Deep waters we don't want to mess with just yet. We know that will not go good for us at all. We also need to be careful about this area right here, because we know this is where the sand giant loves to roam, assuming that he may or may not be up. But that, I think, is what we're looking for. And that, well, you know what, we're just going to go right at it. We're not even going to wait. We're going to see if we got what it takes to start tackling these guys right now. And I think we're also in range like we do. I mean, there's a couple people around tonight. I mean, there's also the possibility, boot to the head, of potentially some groupage, maybe. But at the same time, the big thing was just seeing, like, can we reliably solo over here just yet? And I think, like I said, these Caimans will be our primary targets. I mean, the big thing is we did, before we left, we stocked up. We have plenty of bandages, we have plenty of food, we have plenty of shurikens to throw at things. So we did make the one little pit stop kind of on the way over, just to beat up that one guy. Because he was there all by himself out in the open. Nothing on the mend, but it didn't backfire either, so we're pretty good there. Alright. So, we can solo the basic Caimans. We will not mess around with anything else, but at least we know that we can handle those guys. And if we can handle them, that means some of the other stuff like the spiders. Some of the spiders will be some of the stray orcs. Nah, that guy's yellow, so I have to be careful with that. But at least we should have kind of a couple of options potentially for picking some stuff off. And maybe we end up with maybe some group action. The crocodiles, if I'm not mistaken, are kind of a tier above the gators. So we'll need to be careful in messing around with those guys. But, and again, there's going to be some downtime in between. Because like I said, this guy over here, he's floating. But he's obviously he's quite a bit bigger than we are. He's just going to beat and bash up on everything. We're going to be very specific about what we try to deal with. So, let's get a little bit of hit points back. See how we do. And we'll pick off a Caiman or two. Alright, gang. Well, we've had some pretty decent success here. We've gotten quite a bit of experience. The buffs have worn off. Now it is time to go with our first full fight without any form of buffs at all. We have no more skin buff, and we have no more Spirit of the Wolf. So maybe we're going to get in trouble and not be able to run away. We'll see what happens. I think we'll be fine. Like I said, we've handled most of our fights pretty good. In fact, I mean, with the skin buff on, we were able to do several things, and again, purely solo, just kind of back to back. So I mean, I think we'll be just fine. Again, mostly it's all about staying in our lane. We've dodged all like the big mummies, we've dodged the skeletons, things like that. But the experience has definitely been moving. It's a target-rich environment. We don't have to run around quite as badly as we do, say, in like the common lands or whatever. We are a little bit more removed from buffs. Sometimes somebody might run by and do a little something. I mean, there's people here and there that we can call out and get them. No, don't go in the water. Don't go in the water. What is it with everything trying to go be aquatic? All right, well, okay. I guess alligators are aquatic, but you know what I mean. Anyway. But I think that's a pretty good spot for the night. Like I said, we haven't moved super fast. But we've got like Kazel's got the Cyclops skin on him instead of the Sand Giant skin. So I guess there was some things changed up in the last little hot patch. Much to my happiness, of course, at least now, the Spider Silk stack, which that's always useful for us. I had been carrying around my sewing kit just to be able to handle those things. Now we shouldn't have to worry about those as much. But yeah, we have officially arrived in Oasis. There's some stuff that we can handle solo and on our own, which is nice. And if we were here during kind of a better time, I think that we'd be able to get some decent groupage going on. Like so, there was a group that actually shouted out that we're looking for people over at the Orc Highway. We did not respond fast enough, so we kind of missed out on that, unfortunately. And then there's been one group of casters running around, but they're actually like doing some charm pet kiting, and we're not going to fit in very well with that group either. So we just kind of stayed with the solo thing for now. But again, we did keep it moving. We said we're getting close to level here. We've gotten I'd say that's 65-ish%, maybe. It's so hard to tell with some of those little kind of weird gaps. And then, some kind of chumpy change. We got a few things that might sell for a little bit, and we're going to hold on to the Spider Silks. But I think it's going to be a good spot to call it for now. Like I said, we had a decent adventure getting over here. We're still hoping that maybe next time we trek back through town, we will grab our cash and see maybe if we can get that ring upgrade we were looking for. But we will see what happens. But as always, guys, if you do like what we're doing over here, hey, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But until next time, guys, as always, stay safe, stay distant, stay in EverQuest, and we'll catch you guys next time. Night, guys.